There are moments in each of our lives when the weight of past hurts presses heavily on our hearts. The pain caused by others, sometimes intentional, often accidental, can leave wounds that linger far longer than we ever expected. Yet in the midst of this pain, there is a gentle invitation, a divine whisper, calling us to something higher, something healing. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is not simply a word. It is a profound act that can transform our souls and set us free. When we choose to forgive, we are not saying that what happened was right or dismissing the pain we've endured. Rather, we are releasing ourselves from the grip of bitterness and resentment. Imagine for a moment the heaviness that comes with carrying old grievances. Now, picture that weight being lifted, replaced by a lightness, a peace that passes understanding. That is the healing power of forgiveness. Why does forgiveness heal the soul? Our souls are not meant to be weighed down by anger or held captive by the memories of those who have wronged us. When we cling to unforgiveness, it festers inside us, affecting not just our hearts, but our minds, our bodies, and even our relationships. Studies have shown that holding on to anger and resentment can lead to stress, anxiety, and even physical illness. But when we choose to forgive, we open the door to healing. We allow wounds to close, scars to fade, and hope to be restored. Forgiving others is not just a gift we give to them. It is a gift we give to ourselves. It brings freedom, true freedom. Think of someone who has hurt you deeply. That pain may have felt like a prison, trapping you in cycles of hurt and anger. But the moment you forgive, you take back your power. You are no longer defined by what was done to you, but by the grace you choose to extend. Forgiveness breaks chains, chains of regret, shame, and retribution. It allows us to move forward, to embrace life with renewed joy and purpose. But how do we find the strength to forgive, especially when the hurt runs deep? We look to the ultimate model of forgiveness, God's mercy. Throughout history, God's mercy has been a beacon of hope for humanity. Time and again, we fall short, we make mistakes, we hurt others and ourselves. Yet God's love is steadfast. His forgiveness is never withheld. The scriptures tell us, as far as the east is from the west, so far has he removed our transgressions from us. When we experience God's forgiveness, we are reminded that we are never beyond redemption, never too far gone. And if God can forgive us, we are called to extend that same mercy to those around us. Forgiveness does not erase the past, but it does reshape our future. It is an act of faith, trusting that God can bring beauty from ashes, that he can turn our mourning into dancing. When we walk in forgiveness, we become vessels of healing, not only for ourselves, but for those around us. Our relationships grow deeper, our communities become stronger, and our spirits soar higher. So how can we, in practical terms, walk in forgiveness every day? Here are a few steps to guide the journey. First, acknowledge the pain. Forgiveness does not mean pretending we are not hurt. Be honest with yourself and with God about what you've experienced. Pour out your heart in prayer. There is healing in honesty. Second, choose to release. Forgiveness is a choice, not a feeling. Even if emotions lag behind, make the decision to let go of resentment. Say the words, even if it's just between you and God, I forgive them. You may need to do this over and over, but every time you do, the grip of bitterness loosens a little more. Third, pray for those who have hurt you. This can be incredibly difficult, but it is one of the most powerful ways to break the cycle of hurt. Ask God to bless them, to heal their hearts, and to help you see them through his eyes. Fourth, seek reconciliation if it is safe and possible. Sometimes, forgiveness leads to restored relationships. Other times, it simply brings peace within your own heart. Trust God to guide you in each situation. Fifth, remind yourself daily of God's forgiveness toward you. When we remember how much we have been forgiven, it becomes easier to extend that grace to others. Let gratitude for God's mercy fill your heart and overflow into your actions. Finally, Surround yourself with encouragement. Read scriptures about forgiveness. Share your journey with trusted friends or mentors who can pray with you and cheer you on. Celebrate every step, no matter how small. Healing begins here. Right now, in this moment, you have the power to begin anew. You are not defined by the wounds of your past, but by the hope and freedom that forgiveness brings. To forgive is not to forget, but to choose love over hate, peace over pain, freedom over bondage. Let the light of God's mercy shine into the darkest corners of your heart. Embrace the truth that you are deeply loved, completely forgiven, and wonderfully free. As you walk in forgiveness, may you discover a peace that surpasses understanding, a joy that cannot be shaken, and a life that overflows with healing. Forgive and be free. Forgiveness is not just an act. It is a powerful key that unlocks the door to peace, joy, and restoration. The journey toward true forgiveness may not always feel simple, and it may challenge your heart in ways you never expected. Yet with every step you take, no matter how small, you move closer to wholeness, closer to living a life free from the weight of past hurts and pain. Trust with confidence that God is with you through it all, holding your hand, guiding your choices, and strengthening your spirit when the road feels long. He is not only walking beside you, but also cheering you on, reminding you of His endless grace and unfailing love. As you release the burden of resentment and embrace the healing power of forgiveness, you will notice your soul becoming lighter, your heart more open, and your life overflowing with peace. Forgiveness does not only heal you, it becomes a testimony of hope to those around you, showing that freedom is possible, healing is real, and God's love can restore even the deepest wounds. Choose forgiveness daily. Let it transform your heart, renew your mind, and inspire others who are still searching for the same freedom. Your life can shine as a beacon of hope, a living example that healing begins the moment we choose to forgive and trust God with the rest. May you rise each day with courage that comes from knowing you are deeply loved and never alone. May your heart be steady and your steps be strong, guided by the assurance that grace surrounds you in every moment. Walk each day in grace, choosing kindness over bitterness, hope over fear, and faith over doubt. Let your life reflect the peace that flows from forgiveness and the strength that grows from trust in God's promises. As the day comes to a close, may you find rest in the comforting embrace of a God who forgives completely, heals wounds seen and unseen, and restores what once felt lost. May His presence be the gentle whisper that quiets your worries, and His mercy the light that carries you into tomorrow with renewed hope. Remember this unshakable truth. Healing begins here, in the willingness to release what no longer serves you, to forgive as you have been forgiven, and to step fully into the freedom your soul was created to know. Forgive and be free, because freedom is where true healing lives.